100%. I was shooting in Isle of Wight and I had to call for peri peri masala from Mumbai because I couldn't eat food.
All the actors had said yes in the first narration. The only guy who took 3 narrations from me was Akshay Khanna. We've not seen Riteish do many serious roles. I mean, he's just done, from what I can remember, there was that Milap's film where he played the villain. That's it.
And that's the question every woman asks in the marriage. I don't want only this. I don't want money. Sometimes you want something different.
After a break of 12 years, I'm not coming back with too much baggage.
Older but not wiser. It's the same person.
He's a whole human having sequels.
I have a very low capacity for nonsense.
I know Riteish very, very well. There's a lot of comfort, there's a lot of trust, there's a lot of respect. It's like I was just on Big Boss with Riteish recently.
Okay.
So he was actually scolding one of the participants. And I'd never seen that side of Riteish before.
Crack jokes in serious situations?
I think Riteish.
Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to Showsha. I am Titas Chowdhury in conversation with Kookie, Gulati, Priya, Bapat, Krystle, Fardeen and Sanjay Gupta. Hello everyone, it's a full house. It's lovely to see all of you.
Minus a few, but yes.
We miss Riteish. That's correct. So, I've seen the trailer, like I was telling you. At the end of the trailer, you say that something like ki dongri mere andar se nikalta hi nahi hai. Something along those lines. Now, since you have lived in Bombay, all of you, for so many years, do you also sometimes feel like you can take the boy or the girl out of Bombay, but never Bombay out of us? Do you feel that?
I feel that.
Absolutely.
100%. I was shooting in Isle of Wight and I had to call for peri peri masala from Mumbai because I couldn't eat food. I'm like, everything is tasting like paper.
Yeah.
So you cannot take me out of Bombay, for sure.
No, I shifted country for 9 years and I really felt it. I mean, it's a feeling of just being home, where your roots are.
Yeah.
You know, with all the challenges Bombay faces and presents you, but it's home. I mean, I'm a son of Maharashtra, and son of Bombay, so it's home for me.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I think the same feeling.
Yeah.
You just feel home.
Yeah.
Mumbai is home.
Yeah.
So even if I'm shooting anywhere.
When Kaante came out and it had got more acclaim internationally than here. So I was in LA and I met with a lot of people. I met with these guys who ran their agency, big names and everything. And they said, look, you've got a future here and we can get you a lot of work. But for that, you have to move here for at least 6 months. And I said, nothing doing. I said, I'd rather make movies back home. I cannot come and live in Los Angeles for 6. New York maybe, but not LA definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, like once a Bombay person,
Always
you're always a Bombay person.
But it's the people of Bombay, I think, that make it special. There's a certain resilience, there's a certain approach which is quite unique to Mumbai. Everyone's working, everyone's doing something, everyone wants to. It's maximum city, which...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love traveling. I would go anywhere, stay for a month, 2 months, 3 months, but I eventually have to come back to Bombay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we see the city in the trailer and it comes across as if it's a character in itself, And Bombay has a lot of character, So, on one hand, we see your character who's coming from a certain economic background, and there's Riteish's character, which also shows how cosmopolitan the city in nature is, how versatile it is. But tell me something, when you first got the script, you heard that the film is named Visfot. What was the first reaction in your mind? What did you think it would be?
I think it would be an explosion of events, and it's doing just that. It's literally like events after events that are exploding. You'll miss anything if you blink. So I think that's what Visfot in my mind meant for me.
Yes.
And it was exactly that when we got to reading it and everything.
Yeah.
I would just add explosion of emotions as well.
I would say
Yeah. Events, emotions.
It's an emotional explosion, the film.
Right.
I think immediately.
Very true.
This poster, when it was made, originally one of the drafts that came. So the designers had put 2 explosions.
Yeah.
Here and there, thinking that they'll have to tell them that there's not a single explosion in the film. So please put lens flares on that. And what she said is right. It is an explosion of emotions. It's an explosion, one after another, of situations that keep getting, it's like a downward spiral.
Absolutely.
It's a film that's told in a 24-hour period, so the stakes are very high for everybody, for every character, and that's what makes it Visfotic, I guess.
Visfotic. That's the word.
So,
So how interesting one day can get. Very.
and there are life and death consequences.
I'm sure it's very challenging also to write a story like that, right? That runs
Mr.
through.
Gupta wrote it.
That runs through just 24 hours.
Yeah, I guess that's just one of those stories.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
I love the way he just said, just one of those stories. He just wakes up one morning.
At the back of my head, I make these stories.
One of those stories. I dreamt about it last night.
You know, the amazing part
Yeah.
about Sanjay sir is story could be whatever it could be. The way he adds his energy, and when he narrates that same thing, I'll give you a passage and I'll give him a passage. You'll make a movie out of that. It's literally like that. The way when he narrated the script to me, I saw the film. So for me, it was very easy. I had to just follow. Still I remember the narration. I remember I was sitting across and I was just like this. And he said, "What do you think?" I said, "Yes." so it was literally like that. It's amazing how he puts life into a story. I think that is something I'm learning. I'm hoping to learn more, because that's really an art form actually.
Right.
Literally.
But with all due respect to you, I just want to ask you, was there never a thought to direct it?
No, not really, because I was working on something else at that point, so I couldn't do both. So I was very clear that I'll get somebody nice and competent who will understand the world, who will understand what's on my mind. And just a few months before we went on floors, it was during the lockdown, I think, Cookie's film had come out called The Big Bull. And I really loved the film. And in spite of having seen Hansal's Scam, which was the same story told over 8 hours as against the 2 hours that he had. But the way he chose to tell his story, I really, really loved it. And I reached out to him and I said, Cookie, I'm a fan, and anytime there's a possibility, we will certainly work together. So then when this happened and I was looking for a director, I reached out to him. It was a natural calling.
Great. But I'm very curious about something. So, Fardeen, this is technically your comeback. This is the first film you shot for after the break.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, when you decided to cast him, what made you want to cast Fardeen? Because he was away for so long. There was also this. Did you have this thought that, he might not want to work because he's been away?
For me, how casting works, I'll give you an example. So when we were working on Kaante and we were doing the casting of Kaante, and me, Sanju, Mahesh, we were just sitting in his house having a drink, and Mahesh is another person who's very flamboyant when he narrates a sequence and this and that. And somewhere I knew that there is a hidden actor in Mahesh. And just on a whim, I told him, I said, Mahesh, will you act in my film?
Yeah.
He said, karunga na. So I said, well, I'll write a really, really, really crazy part for you and everything. And he said, yes, definitely. So like that, we were I was meeting different actors. So the only actor, all the actors had said yes in the first narration. The only guy who took 3 narrations from me was Akshay Khanna, who kept, and I'd offered him Lucky Ali's role. Because he could not, in his mind, decide that is this character the villain or is he the hero? Because that's how it was written. So while he was taking his time deciding, I signed Lucky Ali to compose a song for me. And when he composed that song, I took him to meet Sanju. And we were sitting over there in his van, we were talking. And I was just looking at Lucky, and I just walked out of the van and I went and messaged Sanju. I said, how about him for the cop? And he said, yeah, man, that would be really, and I came right back in, and that's how, nobody expected. A similar thing happened when Fardeen came and met me. I was working on the casting of this film. And we had already cast Riteish, right? Yeah. And so I have to cast an Uber driver from Dharavi who's had a past in crime, but has walked away from it because he doesn't want to go there any longer. But he has no choice. He's pulled back because his mother is in early stages of dementia and he has to come back and look after her and everything. So while we were talking, and I saw all the weight he had lost, and his face was all chiseled and everything. What did play on my mind also at that point of time, I said, why not him? And do a complete take on that. And that's why on the spot, I just gave him the script, really hoping that he would say yes. I said, you please read this. If you like it, And I remember even when Kookie read the script and he came back to me with the thing that he's saying, sir, आपने casting उल्टी नहीं कर दी है. तो I said, हाँ वो जान के की है. And I said, वो तेरे लिए उल्टी की है क्योंकि तेरे को तकलीफ होएगी. So I said, you will have a tough time. And not that Riteish looks like a ruffian from the other but
We get it. Yeah.
But it's just that he's, so, and that was how I even felt about it. And that's how I sold it to him also. That you're coming back, people are going to see you after so many years.
Yeah.
They're going to say, okay, yaar, phir se wahi Fardeen dekha kya? So let's surprise the audience, for which they've all worked together on it, worked really hard. Tremendous amount of hard work has gone from the look to the dialect to, performance, body language, getting all of that right. Because one thing is for sure that he was completely plucked out of his comfort zone.
Right.
That was the key factor. And I think only then, when that happens, is when magic happens.
Very true.
In fact, Riteish also was very keen on playing the part he's playing. Because he wanted that entire emotional drama that he's not known actually for much.
Yeah.
I think that he was very, very keen on, like he had told me, he said, I want to explore the emotional side. When I spoke to him, the first thing he told me, he said, the reason I'm doing this part also is because I really want to explore that.
See, but we've not
side.
seen Riteish do many
absolutely.
serious roles. I mean, he's just done, from what I can remember, there was that Milap's film where he played the villain. That's it. But apart from that, it's been all these comedies or romantic films and everything.
Yeah.
But for him it's such a pleasure when we watch the film, even in its first cut, and see him and the honesty in his performance and all the emotions and the thing is that everything is going wrong in his life for no fault of his.
Absolutely.
And how he's coping with that.
Yeah.
So it's just that, and all he's trying to do is be a good provider.
Yeah.
Be as a husband, as a father. And that's what is special. If you ask me about the film, that's what is special, that all the characters, are in a predicament which is not of their own doing.
Sure. Absolutely.
They're very vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Very, very vulnerable.
Very true. Coming to two of you, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, but what I gathered from the trailer is that you play these grey characters, we see that your husband catches you in an extramarital affair. I am very curious to see how your character graph also unfolds, but then there's this child with you who you have kidnapped maybe.
That's not my child, by the way. Our child.
Our child?
No, our child.
No, but tell me how important is it for you to not judge these characters that you're playing?
Oh, it's very important.
Yeah.
And it actually makes you a very, very non-judgmental individual in personal life as well. Because I always said that it was very important for me to not judge Tara and understand what are her needs. Why, if she has decided to find love outside her marriage, why is it so? I mean, as Sanjay sir rightly said, that if the husband is a provider, he's giving you everything, but is that enough?
Yeah.
And that's the question every woman asks in the marriage. I don't want only this. I don't want money. Sometimes you want something different. Sometimes you want only attention. And what if you're not getting that?
Yeah.
So it's very important to see the incident from both the sides to understand whether it is actually cheating, betrayal, or it is what she did was right for her.
You want to add something?
For me, I think, Lucky is actually didn't start off as grey.
Yeah.
She's a very black and white person. She knows what's right. She knows what's wrong. She's just somebody who got caught in a situation where the love of her life, for his reason, she had to turn grey.
Yeah.
So, and then there is redemption, there's all of that, but it's just that nobody, I have noticed in real life also, is black or white.
Sure.
You all have your grey shades. It's how well you cover it and how well you reveal it. So it's very human characters, to be honest, each character.
Yeah.
That sometimes when push comes to shove, you will make decisions that according to the world may not be right, but it's the correct thing to do for you. So I think, that's what, not just Lucky, most of our characters are.
Absolutely. But Fardeen, coming to you, what a year you have had. There was Heeramandi, there was Khel Khel Mein, and now Visfot. in Khel Khel mein you played, a homosexual character. And like Sir said here, we cannot imagine Fardeen Khan playing somebody from, that corner of the city. Do you think now that you have made a comeback, so to say, you feel the need to take more risks than before?
I think that's what keeps you going.
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps the fire burning. The minute you get too comfortable, I think the audiences also start getting bored.
Yeah.
I think you start getting bored, and I think that shows in your work. Yes, sometimes if you're lucky enough to get a franchise film where one character has really struck a chord, and, they want to see you in a part 2 and a part 3. I mean, that's a different matter. But otherwise, I mean, it's what we do. I mean, this business is about taking risks. It's all consuming. You give it your all. So I think the more interesting, risky choices you make, I think it adds to your growth as an actor, adds to your growth as a person. I think the audiences look forward to you. You gain credibility from them. You gain their respect, and it's every job is a new experience for you. So I think that keeps the fire burning, which I think is very important. And for me, I consider myself very lucky to have come back in this time where there's such diverse stuff being written, sophisticated stuff being written, relevant stuff being written.
Yeah.
So it's a very exciting time for me, and of course these 3 back-to-back releases weren't planned. I wish I could had the power to plan them like this, but it just so happened this way.
Yeah.
And it's all happened for the best. And sometimes you just have to surrender to the process. And,
Yes.
Just do what's in your control and leave the rest to all the powers that be. And
What I meant was, do you think you're less scared to take risks today, perhaps?
If I were to answer that honestly, after a break of 12 years, I'm not coming back with too much baggage.
Yeah.
I'm older by 12 years. I'm not looking to play. I didn't know. I came back with the mentality of a newcomer. I didn't know what I was going to be offered. I wasn't expecting to be offered any leading man roles or any of that stuff. So I took what I thought I could, contribute to. I mean, like with Heeramandi, I had 9 scenes. I was told that from the beginning. In Khel Khel Mein, I was doing a supporting role. In this film, I have a parallel lead with Riteish. And going forward, for me, I'm here to work, I'm here to act, I'm here to do something interesting. Yes, if some great meaty part comes my way, I'm going to grab it. But if that doesn't happen, it's something I love doing is acting. I love being part of the storytelling process. And
Sure.
I'm just going to stick to that, and I think it's great. I'm free of all the baggage of
Absolutely.
Of
Which is great.
yeah. So it's in some ways I'm in a kind of a sweet spot. And so exciting times. I'm looking forward.
Yeah. But sir, you've worked with him before. Do you see any difference between Fardeen Khan and now Fardeen Khan 2.0?
2.0.
He's, like you said, he's older but not wiser. It's the same person.
He's a whole human having sequels.
I know. Lovely.
So yeah, he's still as cool to work with, and that's what I really look forward to anytime I work with anybody, because I have a very low capacity for nonsense. So
we have seen you and him and Riteish Dekhmukh doing, of course, having this impeccable comic timing, constantly trying to one-up each other in comedy films before. But this is, of course, very different. It's a different space. How was it even for you all to watch the two of them, in a different space, not doing comedy at all?
I think it was interesting. Firstly, we really admire them as actors and talented actors. So when you get to share a screen with them and in a different emotional space, it's very interesting to see how they perform, how they deal with the scenes.
Right.
I love them both. You can't take your eyes off when both of them are performing on screen.
Absolutely.
Just can't.
Was it different for you?
I know Riteish very, very well. There's a lot of comfort, there's a lot of trust, there's a lot of respect. So it was something we've discussed in terms of before we got on set. So no, it was. And we have a reasonable amount of experience under our belts. So we just kind of slip into that. But Yeah, sometimes, I mean, Riteish is naturally funny. So, and sometimes seeing it's like I was just on Big Boss with Riteish recently when we were promoting Khel Khel Mein. And actually saw a very different side to him, and that took me by surprise. Where he was actually scolding one of the participants, and I'd never seen that side of Riteish before. But I mean, this film, of course, brings out different aspects of his nature.
Yeah.
So it was, he's done so amazingly well, and the depth and the honesty with which he's projected these emotions, very, very complex role that he's played, and he's done it just masterfully.
Yes.
And I think it's really going to be one of his standout performances. So for all of us actors, we just work off each other, and when the other actor does well, you look better, and when you do well, you make the other actor look better, and that's how it works.
Absolutely.
So I mean, we were all part of being a story. I think all of us contributes in our own little ways, and when it all comes together well, in the end, that's when we all celebrate. And yes, of course, we have fun on the set, and we take the ease off, and because our days are long, and sometimes they're hot and sweaty, and then you're always surrounded by people. So yeah, but
I do get where you're coming from, though, because the first thing when you announce a film with Riteish and Fardeen in it, you're expecting comedy. You're expecting something like that. Everyone's like, oh, is it going to be comedy? And then they see the poster and the trailer, they're like, what?
Yeah,
this is not what we were expecting. We're not expecting drama, thriller, emotions. But that's what is different from everything that they've done before together.
That's what's made this trailer resonate so
Yes.
much with people.
Very true.
Because it's literally nothing like what they were expecting out of seeing these two.
And said, but like Visfot comedy picture kaise?
Yeah, I'm
अच्छा assume कर लिया कि
assume कर.
I cannot even
No,
like I'll
Fardeen
show
and
you the
Riteish.
messages.
Is that what Visfot
Like,
is
oh, we thought it was comedy.
kaise
What?
picture?
So intense.
So I'm like,
But it's good to surprise people, right?
Exactly.
That's the thing. Before we let you go, we'll do a very quick segment. It's called Who's More Likely To. So you cannot answer for yourself. You have to think that who fits this.
You can take a sip if you don't want to answer.
No, these are fun questions.
I'm joking, yes.
Okay, let's start. Who's more likely to ditch fine dining for roadside vada pav stall?
Me. Any day.
All right. Who's more likely to be a social media addict?
Me.
I mean,
I won't take as much credit as her, but yeah, I think she
It's
will.
great that you know this.
They
I'm
made me
addicted.
dance, man.
I'm addicted.
Yeah.
We made him dance.
We made him do a dance reel with us.
All right. Who's more likely to be an encyclopedia of Indian cinema?
Sanjay
Wow.
sir. Yes.
All right. Who's more likely to not return calls?
None of us.
I don't know.
I think we
Everyone
all
here
need to
returns
return.
calls.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I've been told yesterday, please put the phone down.
Okay. Crack jokes in serious situations?
I think Riteish. Riteish.
Okay. Who's more likely to tell a poor joke all the time?
Pardon?
Poor joke.
Poor joke all the
cracking PJs.
I'm not good at cracking jokes, so my jokes turn out to be if I have to lighten the mood.
But we have to laugh,
Yeah.
That's sad.
I never saw this side on set. He was so serious, and we were all so serious. And
Poor thing, she's only seen Riteish serious.
Yeah, because Riteish and I always had to fight in the scenes.
Very intense film.
had no
Yeah.
I mean, we were all just actually very intense. No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm more
were
like
not
that.
that
But if you tell me now, lighten the mood, say something funny, I can be really bad.
Self-awareness.
Okay. We won't ask you to do that.
Please,
then.
yeah.
Okay. Who's more likely to jump at the thought of an adventure sport? You? What's the most adventurous thing you have done then?
Class 5 rapid river rafting.
Oh, no.
That was scary. I can't call bungee jumping a sport really, but yes, I did it from the highest, one of the highest at the time, which was 190 feet.
Wow.
So scuba diving is something I do.
Fabulous. Okay, the last one. Who's more likely to cancel plans at the last minute?
I think me.
Yeah, possibly me too.
Yeah, I could see
Possibly
your
me
hand
too.
slowly coming up.
Last minute,
No,
they're
but-
cancelling.
Only if there are a lot of people, but not just.
All right then. Thank you so much. All the best for Visfot. I cannot wait to watch it. And good luck. Good luck to you all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you.